Okay, so today we're diving into something pretty specific, but really quite important. The money talk. The compensation for Trinidad and Tobago's national security folks for 2024-2025.
That's right.
You've probably seen the headlines, right? A 5% wage increase. Sounds like it's across the board: military, police, fire, prisons.
Yeah, but that single number, that 5%, well, it hides more than it reveals, actually.
Exactly. So our mission here, our deep dive, is to unpack why the Defense Force, the TTDF, managed to lock down a whole package deal, and way faster.
A full settlement.
While the other protective services, police, fire, prison officers, they seem stuck, still arguing over just a basic salary offer.
That's the core of it. The difference between a finished settlement and just an offer on the table, it's crucial for you to grasp this.
Okay, let's unpack this. So the timeline is key here, right? The TTDF finalized their agreement, the 2020 to 2022 one, back in April 2025. Done deal.
Yep, signed and sealed.
But meanwhile, the police, the fire service, they were still kind of chewing on that 5% basic pay offer from way back in late 2024.
Still just an offer, yeah. Contentious, too.
Which seems odd, because usually you think of the police and fire associations as having quite a bit of clout, right? Very powerful unions. So why did the government get a deal with the military first? Was that, deliberate?
Oh, absolutely deliberate. Strategic, even. And it all boils down to structure, how these negotiations actually happen.
How so?
Well, the Defense Force, they don't have a union in the same way. They negotiate through an internal thing called the Pay Review Committee.
Oh, okay.
It's basically a direct channel, data figures straight to the chief personnel officer, the CPO. It's set up to be, well, quicker, more conclusive, less public fuss.
Right, whereas the police, fire, prison officers, they've got their big associations, their unions, and those talks are always very public, often quite adversarial.
Exactly. And they can drag on forever. Gridlock is common.
So the strategy was?
Settle with the non-unionized military first. Quietly, efficiently. Get that 5% number out there in public.
Ah, setting a benchmark.
Precisely. It effectively puts a cap, a kind of psychological ceiling, on what the unions can realistically demand before their own negotiations even properly get going. Smart play, politically.
But hang on, the military deal wasn't just the 5% basic increase. This is where it gets really interesting for you, I think.
Yeah, this is the kicker.
Their settlement, the finalized one, it included another 2% bump. An increase in something called the X factor allowance. What on earth is that? And why is that 2% apparently a bigger deal than the 5%?
Right, the X factor. That's the real game changer here. It's an allowance that's pretty unique to the military. Okay. It's meant to compensate them for things specific to military life, like they don't work a standard 40-hour week. They can't really claim overtime in the usual way.
Right. Always on call, essentially.
Yeah, plus the inherent dangers, and critically, the fact they're legally banned from joining trade unions. So this X factor recognizes all that.
Okay, makes sense. But the extra 2%.
Here's the crucial part. The X factor allowance is pensionable.
Okay, so it's not just more cash now.
Exactly. That 2% increase doesn't just lift their current pay packet. Because it's pensionable, it gets factored into their retirement calculations. It compounds. It boosts their long-term financial security way more significantly.
That's a structural benefit the police, fire, and prison officers just don't have, right? No equivalent factor for them.
Not currently, no. So the military got a whole settlement, a package deal with long-term implications. The others just got offered a basic number for their salary line.
And the military package had even more.
Oh, yeah. The gap widened further. Their finalized deal threw in better meal allowances, improved rent allowances if they weren't housed, plus new stuff, like a laundry allowance, believe it or not, for ceremonial uniforms, and a new transfer allowance if they get posted over to Tobago. Little things, maybe, but they add up. It's a comprehensive package.
And the fallout from this difference for the police, fire, prisons.
Well, it's pretty serious. You've got to remember, these services already felt burned by the last settlement, the 4% for 2014-2019.
Right, that was hugely controversial. Many felt it was basically a pay cut in real terms.
Exactly. So there's already a foundation of, let's say, mistrust. Now, they see the military getting this fuller, finalized deal while they're stuck with what feels like the same old 5% offer. The associations are calling it gamesmanship.
And that hits morale hard, presumably?
Absolutely. It damages morale, and that has real-world consequences for, keeping the institutions running effectively. Recruitment gets harder, experienced officers might look elsewhere. It really strains the system when frontline people feel consistently undervalued.
So connecting the dots here. What does this disparity mean for Trinidad and Tobago's national security overall, bigger picture?
Well, the risk is you end up fostering friction between the different branches, resentment, maybe.
Yeah, you can see that happening.
If police, fire, prison officers feel like their work, their risks aren't valued structurally the same way as the military's, it can degrade the whole system's capability over time. You need all parts working well, feeling valued.
So what do the sources suggest? Any fixes on the table?
Yeah, the analysis points to a couple of key things. First, maybe try and synchronize the negotiation timelines better. Don't let one group settle way ahead of the others.
Makes sense. Avoids that benchmark issue.
Right. And second, maybe it's time for a proper job evaluation study across the protective services to create something quantifiable, like a protective services factor.
An equivalent to the military's X factor.
Kind of, yeah.
Huh?
Something that formally recognizes the unique demands, the non-monetary risks of policing, firefighting, running prisons. It would build equity into the structure itself.
So that really leaves a final thought for you, the listener, doesn't it? Given the dangers, the stresses, the unique stuff police, fire, prison officers face every single day, should the government really be thinking beyond just that basic 5% offer?
Should they be looking at structurally implementing something like that protective services factor right now to ensure fairness, real equity across the whole security system?
That seems to be the core strategic question facing them.